This is a jump ring. As you can see, there's an opening at the top. To open and close a jump ring, we do this. Flat nose pliers. You need 2 pair, 1 on each side, and you just grip them evenly and then push 1 back and 1 forward. And as you can see, that opens the jump ring so you can work on it. You can attach something onto it that way, and then you close it the same way, just going back the same way you went until it's even. And that's how you open and close a jump ring. And here we have an ear wire. Now to open and close an ear wire, you just want to push that ball up just a little bit so you can see which side of the loop opens. And then you apply almost the same technique as you do with a jump ring. You just pull it forward a bit and that opens it up. And now to hook a wrapped bead on it, you would just loop it on, push that ball back up, and use the same motion to turn that back in so that it's nice and straight. Here's a lovely piece of rosary chain. I love to use this in my vintage jewelry pieces. It's very easy to make. It's created with small beads and simple wire loops. You can see how those attach there. Now you can make this job easier by buying these small little eyelet head pins or simple loop head pins, or you can make these yourself with a bit of wire and your flat nose pliers. Just make a 90-degree bend, maybe an inch or so, to give yourself some room. Your round nose pliers. Now rosary chain generally is created with small tiny loops. So I place it right at the end of my round nose pliers. I'm going to reposition them, pull it all the way around like this. And then I take my flush cutting wire cut. Then I take my wire cutters and I'm going to snip it right where it crosses there. I'm going to straighten out just a little bit. And then you have your own eyelet or loop head pin. So what we do next is we will loop our bead onto our head pin. Push it to the end. And notice which side of the loop opens, because on the other side I want to make the loop on the opposite side for this side, just to give it some extra strength. Then I just bend the head pin down like this. Take my round nose pliers, make sure it's at the same point so that it'll be the same size loop. Pull your wire around, reposition your round nose pliers, see if you can get it around there. It looks like this. And now I'm just going to try to cut it where it kind of crosses right here. And then I can flatten out this because it's got a bit of a twist on it. I like to have my pins going my loops going the same direction. And if it's even a little bit wonky for a loop, I just get my round nose pliers. First I'm going to stand the head up a little bit, and then I can bring that out just a bit. And there is my rosary bead. So I'm going to open it just like we do jump rings. And I'm going to add another link to my rosary chain. Push it back down. You can see it easily because I did it in a lighter brass color. See how simple that is? To create a simple wrap loop, I take my flat nose pliers and about just over an inch down my wire. This wire happens to be 22 gauge wire. And I'm going to make a 90-degree bend at just over an inch. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers, set them along the nose of the pliers depending on the diameter of the loop I'd like to make. And then I bring this tail forward, bend it around, reposition my round nose pliers so they're horizontal, and I'm going to pull that tail back. Now to wrap it, I'm going to push this wire around. This wire is soft enough, thin enough, that I can wire wrap with my fingers neatly. And I'm going to do it 3 times. Make sure that's snug. Then I'm going to get my wire cutters and cut that tail. And there is a simple wrap loop. I get my flat nose pliers, place it at the other end while I'm holding this snug, make my 90-degree turn, get my round nose pliers, place them at the top at the same distance that I placed it for this loop so that my loops will be the exact same size. I'm going to pull my wire in front, reposition my round nose pliers, pull the wire back, and then I'm going to start wrapping. 1, 2, 3. Get my flush wire cutters. And cut. I have a tiny little tail there. I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and just push that in just a bit. And there we have a double wrapped bead or a bead connector. Now this is where I want to stop before I finish this wire wrap on this bead connector. I'm going to take my other bead and I'm going to thread it on. Make sure it goes through there like so. I'm going to get my flat nose pliers and I'm going to hang on right here tightly. I'm going to get my other flat nose pliers and they're going to pull it around. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to get my flush cutters and cut it right there. I'm going to check and see if the tail's sticking out or if it looks sharp. I'm just going to cinch that in just a tiny bit. And there you have it. That's how you connect bead connectors to each other without using jump rings.